everyone, welcome back to another episode of The Real Get To Da Choppa. I'm your host, Andy Godoy, and I'm back again with another film commentary. So today, the film I'll be doing then is the 4K version of Pitch Black. Now, this is the film by Vin Diesel. Apart from Fast and the Furious, I reckon this is probably his best character, playing the role of Riddick. And I first watched this film on VHS. I think I first watched this film on DVD when it first came out. I was currently working in Blockbuster Video, and I remember this is one of the films that was re-advertised. Now, I've since then watched it on a Blu-ray, and it looks all right. It looked pretty good. But from what I've heard, this version looks really, really good. You know, like the night scenes, day scenes are all colorized in a way, the way we were meant to see it in the cinema. So, it should be interesting watching this. It should be sort of like watching the film again for the first time, watching it in 4K. And that is the beauty of watching certain films in 4K. They just look spectacular. So I'm really hoping this will look amazing. So it's an interesting looking film for certain scenes, but I'll talk more about that as the podcast goes along. So anyway, a big shout out as always to Luke Hayes Payne, Damian Sayers, James Birch, and the rest of the Get To Da Choppa community. Thought there's a theatrical cut and a director's cut. So let's decide which version I'm going to choose. Am I going to choose the theatrical cut or the director's cut? Let's go for something I haven't seen before. Let's go for the director's cut. I've only ever seen the theatrical cut. I've never seen the director's cut. So let's see if it's any different. 3, 2, 1. Press play. Right, so here we go. Now, I've never seen the director's cut, which is interesting. So Universal. Love that logo. Love the little music. But whenever I hear it now, I always think of the Minions. So just to make sure we're all synced up, I'll try and sync us up as close as we can. Camera there. Director's chair. And it says Interscope. Communications. A polygram company. Is it going to be one of these films that gives us like about 20 different companies that it's produced by? No, here we go. Kind of feels like Space Odyssey with the music at the beginning. And a cross between Alien as well. A Polygram Film Entertainment presents. An Interscope Communications production. The effects look really good so far. Again, this is going to be interesting for me to watch because, like I said, when this first came out, I was working at Blockbuster, so obviously you've got to fill up all the shelves with VHSs and DVD. Oh, it's a narration. All but the primitive side, he said. So far, it looks pretty good. Oh, that's that actor. I can't remember. Sure, she was in Heartbreak High, that woman. That's one of the teachers. I don't remember this, but then again, it's been a while since I watched this film. It's an interesting film. So far, it looks good. It looks quite spectacular. Like the shots, like think they're meteor or comet fragments flying into the spaceship. Now, again, like I said, I was saying before about how when I was working at Blockbuster doing the VHS, DVD was really beginning to take over. You know, DVDs sort of like The Matrix and whatever else will become like the big thing. And they were super cool. And you had all these other things on disc. And it was brilliant because you didn't have to rewind films. And that was one of the most annoying things. You know, people not rewinding them, even though you could threaten to find them or whatever. But like, they never did anything about it. But I remember one of the perks of working at Blockbuster was being able to get 7 free rentals a week. But obviously I would get more than that. And I'd also get discounts. That's Ryder Mitchell, I believe. So yeah, when I first watched it on DVD, I think maybe at the time I just owned a CRT TV, so I viewed it sort of on a 4.9 aspect ratio. So it must have been letterbox because I think DVDs, if memory serves me right, did the 16.9 aspect ratio for certain films. So I didn't really get it. And then eventually I ended up sort of getting myself sort of like a DVD player, and then I'd watch films on my HD TV. And my HD TV, obviously at the time they weren't great, so colours were muted. So certain films like this, you struggled to watch films that were too dark, or they didn't have the colorizations really well. And I've seen Pitch Black on Blu-ray on like a decent sort of TV, and it looked okay. I didn't think there was any problems until I read about how it was colorized wrong. And now, like I said, I'm going to be watching this in 4K on my 4K projector on the big screen, 120-inch screen. And I've got to admit, it looks spectacular. It looks really good. Now, so far, there's quite a bit of film grain. And again, you know me, I love my film grain. I think shot in films need to have film grain. It makes it cinematic. Gives it depth and field. And it's not too distracting so far. I think Ryder Mitchell, I know her from a few other films. One called Rogue, which is like an Australian crocodile film. And then I also know her from Silent Hill, the Christopher Vaughn's film that he did. And I believe there's like a Silent Hill 2 coming out soon. So, might have to do Silent Hill. I don't remember all this, so this must be the extra director's thing. Yeah, it's not a film that I'd watch all the time, but I really did enjoy it. I've probably ever seen it about 4 times at maximum, really. Like originally once on DVD, maybe just once on telly, and then like once on Blu-ray. So this will probably be like my 4th time. I've always enjoyed it. It's not that I didn't like it. There's always been other films I've wanted to watch, and I still feel this is Vin Diesel's best role. It's sounding pretty epic so far, like the noise, the chaos, the shaky cam. Different sort of lenses there and angles, I think, just to sort of like add stress to it. Now, there are more continuing like versions of the film. You've got Chronicles of Riddick, and then you got all the other ones. Can't remember what they're called. God, that's going to be scary. He's done well to hold on. Yeah, I remember, if I can memory serves me right, the crash scene and everything all happened a lot quicker in the theatrical cut. What I like about this film, if you haven't seen it, I probably will do a spoiler. This guy here. Actually, you know what? I won't do a spoiler. I'll let it unfold. Now, I think before this, I had seen Vin Diesel in Saving Private Ryan. Then I saw him in this. And then obviously Fast and Furious. It's quite like a stressy, fast cut sort of like thing going on. Oh, geez, he's still alive. Yeah, there's no going back from that. Yeah, we know what she's going to do. They know what she's got to do. He knows. That blonde guy kind of reminds me of Michael Dudikoff. I know it's not, but it does. And there's Vin Diesel playing the mysterious Riddick. Let's have a little look. I'll get IMDb up so I can get some more info about this film. I've got to admit, this is looking pretty good. A lot of detail on the face and the yellowy, whitish tint of them being on this planet is looking a lot better. It's very white and bland, I think, on the Blu-ray, but here there's lots. And I think how they went about doing this effect, I think they bleached the film or like and just made it sort of like a different way, which is why it looks a certain way, if memory serves me right. I could be completely wrong and giving out false info. So yeah, the blonde guy that I was talking about is Cole Hauser playing the role of Johns. He's Too Fast, Too Furious, Dazed and Confused. Oh, he was in Rogue. Different Rogue. Oh, and Keith David, that was the guy. I couldn't remember what his name was. Quite an impressive looking film, actually. Oh, there's Keith David. Looking quite primal there, all chained up. Oh, that's painful. He's escaped. I've got to admit, this film is looking really, really good. Like you said, I can see what they meant in the reviews and the difference in comparison between the 4K. The 4K really looks washed out. Washed out is the word I was looking for. So David Toy is the director. Did The Fugitive, Pitch Black, Riddick, G.I. Jane. So yeah, before I was saying that, you've got like the other Riddick films. You've also got some really good games like Butcher Bay, and then you've got a couple of the animated things as well. Yeah, you know what? When I said she was in Heartbreak High, no, she was in I think either Neighbours or Home and Away. Quite a lot of Australian actors. That effect doesn't look too great. So on IMDb it says the hot deserts where they were filmed were actually about 10 degrees, 50 degrees Fahrenheit. There were misting waters on the actors to make it appear as if they were sweating. No, it's interesting here. It says the film developed from David Toy's unused idea from Alien 3. And you can see some comparisons. You can sort of see some similarities. And I'm kind of glad this is his own thing because it became really good. Keith David's really quite a versatile actor, actually. He's believable in pretty much every role. One of my favourite roles, actually, he did where he played the... one of the guys from Saints Row 2 and 3. I can't remember what his name was. A really big role in that game. But obviously, like, I'm most famously known from They Live. Yeah, this doesn't seem washed out. This is the scene where I remember on the Blu-ray, it just felt a little bit off, and like here, it does look really quite crystal clear. And obviously, it's because of the different suns and the different times of the day, and where they are, the planet, which is the why it looks the way it looks. Hmm. Sound design's pretty good on this. Again, I'm wearing headphones. Or giant fossils. Looks like a whale or something, or a dinosaur, or big giant creature. You wouldn't really be going out exploring, especially like these younger people there. You would say, like, stay close or don't go anywhere you shouldn't really go. I like the way he's a presence. He's just there. So yeah, originally this was meant to be a standalone film. And in a way, you know, it's good that they expanded it. But I do feel like Riddick became too much of a superhero. Hmm. It's quite an impressive sort of like I think the reason why I'm liking this is because a lot of it's shot out there in location. And that always looks a lot better than rather than just getting a set. Obviously, you know, most films still use sets and stuff like that, but if used sparingly and done right, it can make things look incredible. They're all exploring this camps and seeing that it's somewhat empty and somewhat abandoned. But why? Hmm. Hmm. She's excited. Oh, they found a ship, that's why. Hmm. That was a close one. Ooh, forgot about that. It's quite a good slow build up to the film. You know, I feel that's one of the pros it has got going for it. You know, a lot of films nowadays, it's like they rush too soon to get into what's going on. But this sets up the world and what's in the world and what's about to happen. I feel like it does it pretty good. quite primal, the music, and then running there looking like a badass until he gets tripped over by this guy. Ouch. Hmm. Damn. This is the thing about this film. It has really quiet moments and you're thinking what's going to happen, and then all of a sudden it's like a bit of a jump scare type thing. I wouldn't be digging. It's waiting for something to go on. It is one of those patient films. And I feel that's good in a way. I've forgotten lots of what actually happens until the creatures start coming out. They will be here soon, I remember, because she's tied up. Oh, there we go. She discovered the foot. Oh, I forgot they make sounds like that. Quite interesting looking character designs for the creatures. Yep, it's time to get out of there. Yep, I'd be panicking as well. Yep, I'd be super nervous. Doesn't help Vin Diesel's banging away. Oh dear, forgot about that bit. Just when you think she's escaped. It's really weird. I'm actually sort of concentrating more on the film because it's been a while since I've seen it, and it's the director's version. So oh yeah, I forgot he's got these shiny eyes. And then later films we find out he's some sort of alien type guy. Ooh, he's fast on the draw. That was a bit intense there. We've got the supplies. I suppose that's one of the things you need to do. Just make sure you've got as many supplies that you need. What's that? Some sort of fisheye camera. I love this music. The detail's quite good at the faces. There's a lot of definition. It's crystal clear. It's a good looking film. Looks way much better than the Blu-ray does. I always like the little goggles that Vin Diesel wore in this. It's an electric head shaver. That. Not an electric, just a manual one. They've got the water thing. I do like the character progression between Riddick and Johns, whatever his name is. Oh yeah, I forgot this kid. Jack. Quite idolizes the Vin Diesel Riddick character. And again, guys, please feel free to recommend other films you'd like me to watch on 4K. Was that like a solar power thing? I was just about to say miners, but yeah. They wouldn't. It's quite interesting. The film grain varies. Oh, that was interesting. Depending on certain scenes. So it's hardly any film grain in certain scenes. And then others, some depending, thinking it's the cameras they used. And due to the lighting and the way they shot the film. Oh wow. Yeah, quite a bit of film grain there actually in the dark scenes. Must be something to do with like kind of the way they film it and like a lens thing. I don't know the technicality of it, but when you're shooting in the dark and the amount of light that goes in and how it focuses, like the way the don't know how to explain it really. The effects look quite good. You don't see the creatures long enough to actually focus on them for too long. Oh. Yeah, I shouldn't let the kids just wander off. Oh, you can see some skulls, skeletons. Don't know if they actually saw that. Well, I do like it. It's very slow paced. Very. It's telling the story, letting the story unfold, especially with these sundials and what's going on here. They slowly come to the realization of what's actually going to happen with the eclipse. This is where we start finding out there's a little bit more to John's totally forgot about how he cuts his hair with the grease. Hmm. I love the way it looks, like from the tone of color. There's tension there. She's scared. And he's quite a scary character if you think about it. I mean, we must be like, what, nearly an hour into the film and nothing has really happened apart from the ship landing and just like we see some of the creatures. So again, the pacing of the film is really, really good. Mm-hmm. Good sound design in this film. But yeah, I remember first watching this film on DVD, really enjoying it, really liking it. Oh, gosh. Don't remember that bit, but there we go. Hmm. Lots of shadows the way it's shot as well to give everyone a bit of a sinister look. Radha Mitchell's really good in pretty much anything you've seen her in. The attitude. Oh, they were trying to tell her this. So the eclipse beginning to happen. Yeah, so the Riddick game, Butcher Bay, is really, really good. I think they did have like a remake and then a sequel. It was meant to be pretty good. I've never really played it. I think the remake came out on the Xbox 360 and so did the sequel. The original game came out, I think, on the original classic Xbox. That was more of a necessity, working together. That was funny. That bit was always interesting, going through the bones. Beautiful shot there. Can really feel the heat. And it's quite a nice combination of sets and, like actual locations and the way it's shot. I love this, the way everything's just going to start going wrong. The rushing, they all have to work together to try and get some sort of organization before it all happens. They're not quite sure what's going to happen, but they know something is going to happen. And we feel the stress that they feel. The music speeding up as the sun is disappearing and it's becoming night. Everything's powering down. Oh, and I was going to say the world is waking up. Enough, they start flying those things. Now, do you guys remember playing the first Gears of War? You reach that certain level where you have to stay in the light, otherwise those flying creatures kill you. Definitely inspired by this. They're all amazed by it. Damn it. Looks really good, the effects. The sound effects of them flying through as well. I love the way they flock like birds. Oh, that was quite interesting. The fact that she's still alive. These are like miniatures. But regardless, you know, things like that look really epic in films. Just the amount of them all coming out. I forgot he's got night visions. The amount of them, all of them flying, different sizes. Yep, so realization of what's actually happened to all the living things out there. Do quite like the calls. Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. Look, my cat's trying to jump here before it scares me. Yeah, it's amazing. I don't think I probably saw this film like when I first got it on Blu-ray. So going back probably about 6 or 7 years ago. See, I didn't collect Blu-ray at first, and reason being was that because streaming became a thing. And then I thought, well, Blu-rays are so expensive. And then Ash from the Facebook group, Get To Da Choppa, mentioned that they're relatively cheap. And, you know, sometimes it's nice having something physical. And then I started finding out that, because it's physical media and streaming isn't always the greatest, that you'd still get a better quality. I better put my lid on my recorder there because I've got a feeling my cat will try and press a button, hence turning something off. Again, the effects on the creatures, from what you can see, I feel like they don't look that great, but they show them limited for a certain amount of time in the dark, so it looks better than it should do, really. But I feel like the filmmakers knew this. And the creatures all look a little bit Geiger-esque. They look like the alien from Alien somewhat. You'd want to know what it looks like, wouldn't you? It's interesting that now they need to rely on Riddick. They need to trust their supposed criminal. And this is where the things start turning. The guy we thought was the cop, obviously he's not such a nice guy. And we start to see more of his flaws and we start to see Riddick turn into the hero that we need, although he doesn't want to be. Love the way it glows in his eyes. Clear. That looks clear. I still feel this film is better than the other sort of like sequels to this Riddick film, because it was contained. It was everything it needed to be, whereas the sequels added too much, him being like some sort of super being and whatever else and some other weird aliens, and it just became not great. Is he tripping out of his head now? I can't blame the guy though. Like, there's a lot going on. The stakes are high. They've got all the things. They've got to go run through the dark with all those glowing cables wrapped around them. That is good. It's interesting vision the way the creatures see. Uh-oh. Right, things are gonna not go according to plan. Yep. Oh, I like this bit here. Goodbye. I'm listening. It really goes to show I haven't seen this film in a long time because I'm not saying a lot. Where it's a film I'm a lot more familiar with, I can talk a lot more about it and describe what's happening in the scenes. And this film, even though I've seen it, this is my probably fourth or fifth time watching it, I'm still getting drawn in like it. Oh yeah, we find out she's a girl. So let's see who that girl is then, according to this Jack. So Jackie. Rihanna Griffith. She worked on the Chronicles of a Fury, Dark Fury as well. Home and Away. She 15 and More. White Collar Blue. Wrong Answer. Nothing I really heard. Obviously Home and Away. Mm-hmm. Love the way with the light, the flares, they just have different colouring. It is a really interesting film. It's got to be scary, but now it's walking, you can't see where you're going. You know, they could just be surrounding you. Damn. The way he always dislocates his arm or bits and he just gets on with it. I think we find out he's a species called a Furian. And they're like superhuman. Obviously, none of that means anything in this. In this, he's just a prisoner called Riddick. It weren't until the sequels we find out more. Ooh, got stabbed. Not so brave now, is he now? He's all by himself. Look, the gun jammed. Ooh. I was wondering what he was doing. Studying them. Again, sometimes filming something like this, showing less is more. You know, we can hear them, and we're reacting from their fear, the actors. Damn. There's loads. Absolutely loads. They're everywhere. Gotta feel sorry for the kid. Oh, I thought he got then. Hmm. Love that. I love how tough he is. He can just go one-on-one versus it. But he knows the blind spot. Oh. I love that line. It cracked me up when I first heard it. It's like the most macho thing to do or say. Oh, and it's starting to rain now. Well, things couldn't get any worse, could they? I'm really looking forward to doing different films with that shot differently. Stuff like the film Sin City as well, you know. And what's the other film as well where all the girls are in a psychiatric ward and it's quite kind of like an epic battle of, can't remember what it's called, but it's a spectacle. Oh, forgot about that. Yeah, that's gotta hurt. He's losing his faith, losing the kids. It's good that he found that. Love the silhouette as well with the rain and just the light there. And he's torn. What's he gonna do? He's nearly there. Can't believe how young Radha Mitchell is there. Wonder how old she was when she made this film. But yeah, I've ordered some few other films apart from Tron Ares. Tron Ares should be the next film I should be doing. It just didn't arrive in time for me to record it. So I'm trying to record all these in advance. I've ordered a film called Valley of the Gwangi. Now, Valley of the Gwangi is one of those old Ray Harryhausen films with stop motion, sort of like dinosaurs and stuff like that. And it's like cowboys versus dinosaurs. I cannot wait to do that. That is a Blu-ray. I cannot wait to do it. Forgot about all these little creatures they find. Another film I'd like to get is the Hellraiser 4 films. I don't know if I've... You know what? I probably will get them because I haven't got them on Blu-ray. I'll get them in 4K. And the only thing I was worried about originally is like they're not like the most amazingly shot film with the cameras. The first film is very low budget. But again, you know what? I never watched it in a cinema, so it would be great to watch it on the big screen here at home. That is really grainy there. I think he is. It's a good scene, this, between the two of them. She needs to do the right thing after she nearly did the wrong thing. And he's an interesting character, Riddick. I would have had loads of those little creatures everywhere. I would have put them on my clothes, my ears, my nose, a few in my mouth. I just would have had them in my shoes, just everywhere. So that way I'm literally glowing. Would have put them in my belt, my pants, just everywhere. My cat's just knocking things over so I can give it attention. It always does this. For our listeners of the podcast, you must be familiar with my cat, Rosie. Always demanding attention. But again, guys, honestly, while all this action is happening, if you haven't already, please leave me a review. Podcast, you know, it's on Spotify. It's also on Apple Podcast. It's on YouTube, on TikTok. Tell your friends. Please comment as well because it makes it more interesting. Makes it all worthwhile. And again, I am doing this like for myself, but also for like fans of film, fans of these films in particular. It's almost like a dance. And Vin Diesel's a bit of a dancer himself. He used to do breakdancing videos as a kid. And he also advertised kids' toys. I remember like he did one on Street Sharks, the action figures, years and years and years ago. Riddick's a badass. Shouldn't be screaming, because just be calling them. He just has a bit of humanity there. And she looks like it's gone. Damn, nothing could be done. He looks torn. He looks upset. It shouldn't have been her. It should have been him. And that's what I love about this growth of his character. Didn't feel he deserved it. Look at that face, man. He looks pissed. He's a scary dude. Love the contact lenses for the way his eyes glow. I know he wants to get some sort of revenge on them, but this could have gone so wrong. I know it doesn't. Yeah, that could have gone so wrong. They could have smashed the window, and that could have messed things up. And I think the story continues, and is it Dark Fury, which is the next animated one in the Chronicles of Riddick. So yeah, I've enjoyed this. It's been a good film, interesting story, very contained. Like I said, did it need sequels? Some of them good, some of them bad. But yeah, I enjoyed that. 4K definitely worth it. Best way to watch it, really. Yeah, so I have been Andy Godoy. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave me a review if you haven't already. And guys, I shall see you all next time with more commentaries. Goodbye from me.